What C words is Amanda? Amanda, you want to talk about it? I think this is gonna be a very interesting conversation for you. How much have you kept up with what's going on the internet? No, not cunt, obviously. You know, cunt for some reason is not a word that is a lot worse than the word, I don't know, a C word that rhymes with slacker. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on Twitch. I doubt there's any Twitch mod tuning into this, hopefully not. But, you know, I want to be cautious too, because a lot of big streamers are being removed for using that word. And, you know, who knows, you know, which Twitch mod is going to take everything out of context and believe that I'm a racist individual, although I am kinda somewhat racist. Yeah, the biscuit but salty. Yes. Wait, does it count as a biscuit? How does Google explain? Hold on. What the fuck? 1993 drama? This is a show called Cracker. Oh shit, I should. This is contextual. This is important. I said it in context. It's a show that is called Cracker. Yeah. It's a show. Twitch, it's a show. Chill. So is it a biscuit or not? I'm sure the search results for, you know, like the searches that, you know, Google makes for the word cracker has spiked since late last year. Yeah, food. Alright, a cracker is a flat, dry, baked food, typically made with flour. So they don't really call it a biscuit. See, this is like an argument between, you know, whether or not... what was I gonna say? Wafer. Wafers is a... biscuit. Oh, is it cookies? Cookies? Cookies is definitely a biscuit. But yeah, Amanda, it's a racial slur. To be honest, I do agree on how this word is used as a racial slur, because it is, you know, it describes a particular appearance on people, right? The shoe fits when you use it on white people. So you can't call an Asian person or a black person this particular word right here. So I get why, you know, it can be seen as a racial slur, and it is. It's just, I don't know. I don't have a good defense for it at the moment. Give me a moment. I guess I get why Twitch has banned the streamers for using this word. Like, to be fair, you know, people who's not black using the N-word, you know, left, right, center, in a derogatory manner would be, I guess, not exactly fun to watch, right? For advertisers. Oh, excuse me. I'll never understand the racial slur, says Amanda. Yeah. I guess I get it. Yeah, like, you want to be equal, right? You want to be fair to people. Yeah. Audie thinks it's not a slur. Why is it not a slur, Audie? Why is it not a slur? You being accused of whip cracking hillbilly ass. Yeah, Audie saying, it in no way compares a slur against POC. But the thing is, the argument is not that, you know, if this word is worse than any other racial slur. That's not what, you know, people are saying when they say, you know, this term is a racial slur. And I see their point. This is a racial slur if used in the I guess awful context, right? You can't say that it's not a racial slur. It is though. Like, what does it describe? But I feel like you should be able to say it. That's what I feel sometimes. Like I call myself chink all the time. If we're using it in a derogatory way, maybe, like, you might need to learn some manners. But, if it's used in a, I guess, friend to friend context, I don't see what the problem is. It's just, Alright, so what are you saying? White people were fine with other slurs until we started calling them something other than white. I think if you repeat a term or slang, enough to a person in a negative manner, of course it's going to start offending them, right? And I guess, this word is so old. It's been used a while, but whatever happened to, like, homeboy? I guess homeboy isn't as offensive as being accused of being a slave owner, I guess. Hmm. Yeah, it's definitely this shift in this, what's the word, paradigm? That is creating this victimhood for white people. Yeah, and I think it's fair, right? Especially the ones that did nothing wrong. Like, being criticized for being born a certain way. I think that is a shared aspect that every race has, isn't it? Now, right now? Like, before, in the West, being white was normal. But now, like, something that I've seen recently is, being white is a crime. Well, that's how Twitter treats it anyway. It's Twitter. I don't know. Yeah, but, if a tweet gets loud enough, it reaches real world and there's real world consequences. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's about power dynamic. It's interesting. Yeah. Monsoon says, "I'll never call someone boy. That's very bad." I can see how people can be offended by the word boy. Yes, especially if you're a man, right? The white guilt topic. No, we were just talk. What were we talking about? How did we end up here? All right, the P word. The P word. Hi, Flakes. We were talking about the P word, but we ended up talking about white people. Right. Yeah, Odie's saying if we being real, being white was never normal. I think normal is subjective. What is normal? Hmm. Like, whenever I refer to normal, it's the standard, right? It's what's common. And in 2000, from what I remember, because I was born in 1993, right? In Japan, it's normal for you to be a Japanese. It's native, you know? But I guess America was still on that, white people found this country kind of thing. In America. Yeah. But I just don't understand why the younger generation now has to suffer for that. Like, why not combine powers and, I don't know, make changes? I don't get it. Rather than, like, yelling who looks like what. But yeah, P word is the penis. We were just saying, because Ori was just memeing and was censoring the word penis. and then I was like, why? First the C word that rhymes with slacker. Now the P word? Yeah, and then we ended up talking about this. Yeah. Ori's saying no, I mean, like, people were not white initially. Genetically speaking, yeah. Of course. We all came from Amanda. Genetically speaking, we used to be black, yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Right. So, anyways, Monsoon is saying in Australia, it's normal to be black, white, brown, whatever color except rainbow. Monsoon, you know what? I've never realized how serious racism is to some people until I got on the internet. Internet takes this very seriously. And what's with that? Like, sometimes people even like they can't communicate because of how much anger they have towards another person for I don't know, like having a particular stance, right? Like the way I grew up in my high school is, like this person's South African, this person's Italian, this person is like uh a Malaysian, right? I'm a Japanese, half right, half Filipino, but I'm considered Japanese because that's not where I'm from, the Philippines. Um, yeah, I get called Chink all the time. The South African kid was white, so he was just called Fatty. There was another guy who his parents is from England, but I guess the inside joke was, we keep calling him Hitler because he loves history. And that was a thing. Yeah, like it used to be okay to, call each other things as long as you have this like equal understanding of, what is accepted when it's said, right? But I guess everybody shares a different opinion, and the standard is that you can't just jump to a racial slur. And that's fine, I think. As long as everybody's following the rules. Yeah, Amanda is saying because of systemic issues and people don't always agree on who's treated unfairly, right? And Twitter's a cesspit for it. Ori's saying it's because everyone wants to be woke. I still hate that term. I don't know. I don't know who decided that, that is a term for, I guess, being socially aware. And yeah, Flakes was just sharing titties, right? And Ori says this is gonna sound messed up, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna stay out of it until someone messes with me. Like I have my views and my opinions, but I don't actively do anything to make change. And I don't think the responsibility is on you, right? It's almost like volunteer work. You willingly do it because you believe in the change that it brings. I don't think people should be forced to do it. Like you gotta come to that. Hold on. I almost said something very bad there. Give me a moment. No, I don't want to send the wrong message. Yeah, it's like you gotta be able to communicate properly so that you can allow the other person to sympathize. That's how communication works, isn't it? That's how you ask for help. But nobody's asking for help anymore. It's about shaming the other side. That's what I don't understand sometimes. I guess it's fun to shame the other side. Like, it makes you feel like you belong in a certain team. And you just fucking, wave your fingers at the other side and feel good about it. Yeah, Amanda's saying, I would argue it's partly because Americans force their political world view on us. Yeah, has. Take responsibility. It's all your fault. Yeah, so Monsoon is saying it's like when people said to Chinese people, go back to China and take the virus with you. So, yeah, that was something. That was a fascinating phenomenon. How blind people are, I guess, when it comes to like Asians. Even Koreans and Japanese were wrapped up in all this Asian hate. when their own country had nothing to do with it, and sometimes they're not even first generation immigrant. That was funny. Not really. Not really, not at all. But funny as in like fascinating. And with all this like vaccination refusal and etc., I feel like it's a clear sign that education is failing people, isn't it? Not to be political or anything. Why is vaccine political? I don't understand that anymore. Why is it getting political? It's science. Religious people are awful here. Everybody has their own opinion. I guess freedom, right? And because they're the center of attention, Americans are the center of attention. They're the trendsetters. What they talk about is what every other country has to talk about. Lovely. And I think it's fine. Like, everybody will eventually find something else to hate if, let's say, America never existed. People thrive on that, you know? Having a shared goal or the same enemy. Yeah, Monsoon is saying, imagine a blind person and a guide dog that was blind. Yeah, exactly. Strongly agree. I don't know. No, Monsoon, what are you doing? Alright. Amanda is saying, in my experience, hyper-religious people are always awful. Hyper-religious, that's the key word, everybody. Not religious, hyper-religious. Yeah, so we're talking about the radicals. Like, strong believers. People who think that you can convert gay people. That's the kind of people that we're talking about here. Not the harmless religious people, obviously. Yes, Amanda's saying, is it Maru? Is it really science? We're talking about vaccines here. Right? Yeah, I don't understand. Like, why can't we... Like, where do they get these information from? Who makes these information? Is what I want to know, actually. Fucking brainwashing? Right? Microchips? You understand how big a microchip is? Do you realize how big microchips are? What the fuck? You think you can just fit that into a needle? I work with microchips every day. You know how fucking huge they are? Imagine this going inside your body. Imagine that. Nanochip, I get it. Microchip? Hell no. You're gonna fit that in there. I guess there's that other microchip thing that you can use to, like, pay for your food and etc., right? Yeah, this is a microchip apparently, right? But you'll see that coming. Not with the needles that they inject you with. Where's this idea coming from? Yeah, I particularly blame Trump. He really made idiots more vocal, in my opinion. Oh, sorry, not in my opinion. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, but America has always been dumb. I just wasn't old enough to realize or care. I don't think the responsibility is on you anyway, right? It's the failure of education. Like, that's how much, you know, the countries are, I guess, concerned about their own education. They're not. But who's to say what is brainwashing and what is not, right? Yeah, where is it? Yeah, no, Trump is a good person. He's better than the Biden dude. Monsoon, you don't know what you're talking about. You're Australian. Shut the fuck up. You're Australian like me. Sit down. I don't care about American political matters. I don't care about that. You shouldn't too. Stay out. Talk about ScoMo instead. Yeah, so Ori's saying I don't get it either. Like, they act like we haven't had new vaccines introduced before. We would be dead without vaccines, in my opinion. So all I'm saying is microchips won't fit through the needle of what they're vaccinating people with, is all I'm saying. This zigzag looking shit is not going to slide into your meat. It's going to cut it up. You will feel it. And if you weren't complaining about that already, then you probably don't have a microchip inside you. You'll feel it. Trust me. I work with this shit every day. My goodness. Like, I laughed when I first heard that theory. And the 5G shit. Oh, well, anyways. Yeah. I want to hear, you know, conspiracies coming from outside of America. I want to hear something new. Alright, so the vaccine is good. Everyone should have it, says Monsoon. ScoMo is a legend. All right. Okay. Okie dokie. All right. So what are you saying? The needle they use to pierce my ears for gauges? Is that how you read it? Not gauges, right? Why is English hard? How do you pronounce this word? Tell me how to pronounce this word.
Gauge.
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 It is gauge. Gauge.
Gauge.
Gauge.
Gauge.
Gauge.
Gauge.
Okay. Gauge. Is Google memeing me?
Gauge. Gauge.
Gauge.
Gauge.
I feel like that's not it. It's when you stretch out your ears. Ah. The needle they used to pierce my ears for gauge was pretty big though, says Ori. But that's not for injecting, you know? Like you want the needle to fit through the vein, you know? Like that's the whole purpose of the jab, in it. You want it to be, as least invasive as possible to your muscles, right? When you stab. Yeah, these things. Yeah, this will not fit. There's no fucking way. Right. But what's the other thing? Like metal detected in the vaccines and whatnot too? Like that's also dumb because you have metal already inside your body. What does that even mean? Anyways, it's always fun. It's always fun to talk about this. Like, makes me laugh.